Okay. Hey everyone, how you doing today? Um, I know I appreciate you guys coming out and sharing your little time with us today. I really do appreciate all those who decided to show up. I spoke with a lot of you today, or over the last couple of days, and I wanted to share with you just something that I found very lucrative in my life and the decision that I made that affected a lot of people's lives that are around me. I have someone here very special that's going to help us to understand the stem cell technology that I shared with you guys. But I want to take the time to let you know that she's a very um, lucrative earner in this industry, but also she's an expert on informational this informational that we're going to go over today. I appreciate her expertise and her husband's diligence that they've had in this situation. I shouldn't say situation, but in this industry. Her and her husband have been in the stem cell industry for maybe a few months or so, but their dedication and commitment to this industry has helped them be lucrative earners. They're both seven-figure earners in this home-based business, and they're one of the top producers in this company. So if we have a moment, could you please pay close attention to Verdita Monk? And I appreciate her being here with us today.
Well, thank you so much, Justin, for that awesome introduction and inviting all these people out.
Verdita, I don't think we can hear you.
You can't hear me?
Or it might be just me.
Okay, Ernie, can you unmute yourself and let me know whether or not you can hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. It was me. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay, no problem, no problem. But thank you so much, Justin, for you've done such a great job inviting all your friends and relatives. And I know everybody Justin probably told you this is just something amazing. This is why he really wanted you to take the time out of your schedule at such a short notice. So we want to thank you all for doing that, and we're going to respect your time. Let me just tell you a little bit more about myself, and I, what you're about to hear is not just about money. I just want you to know that, because when my husband and I first heard this, we were the kind of people, we were really busy. I'm an interior designer, and so I'm self-employed. My husband is self-employed. He's a consultant, and we just didn't really have time to put anything else on our plate. But it was more so what we heard. There was something we could not deny people around us hearing about it. And so the way it happened was this: a friend of ours called us and said, I want you to want to catch up with you, excuse me, because I've got something you need to try. It's a patch, and I'm sharing you with what it looks like right now. It's a very, very tiny patch, about the size of a quarter. You see my finger, so it's about the size of a quarter, but thin like a Band-Aid. And so he had us listen to a call about the gentleman who created this patch, and he's a scientist, and it was just so intriguing what I heard. But then he got us on a call like this, what you're hearing right now. And we heard some amazing things, some testimonies that were life-changing type testimonies. And we felt like, okay, there's no way we can keep this from our friends. So we went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin the next morning. And the first thing we noticed, well, we heard about people with pain and different issues. So my mother-in-law, who's 92 years old, was rubbing her knee, and she'd been rubbing this knee profusely for 2 years. But the previous time when we went to Milwaukee, only thing we knew that we could do is give her pain medication that her doctor has prescribed and rubbing ointments. But this time, because of what we heard, we felt that, hey, let's try this patch on her and see if it works like they say. So we put the patch on her knee, and the next morning, she woke up and said all the pain was gone. Well, the same thing, the very same night, my husband and I said, okay, let's try to patch ourselves. Now, keep in mind, we don't take medication. We don't have any type of pain. We don't have any type of illnesses that we knew of. So we said, I don't know how this patch is going to help us. And you know, some of you may be thinking the same thing, but we did it anyway because we were asked to try it. So we put the patch on before we went to bed. You know, normally we put it on in the morning now, but we put it on that night before we went to bed. And the first thing I noticed when I woke up the next morning is I had had such a deep sleep that I've never experienced in my life, never slept like that in my life. And then my husband, I noticed that he had stopped snoring, and he snores. Normally, my husband sounds like a bear. It's a chronic type of snore, just coughing and choking, and I mean it's very annoying and scary all at the same time. So when he was snoring like that, you know, when he stopped snoring, rather, it really caught my attention. And so you're going to find out that this patch does some amazing things that you would never, you know, who thinks that this tiny patch will stop a person from snoring like that? And that was November the 11th of 2022. And that's when we realized that there were so many things, so many people that needed this patch. But we're going to share with you some life-changing, that was life-changing, but like life-saving type of situations that we've experienced ever since we've been involved with this. And so that's why we're so compelled to share it with you. And so let me pull up this slide so we can get right on into it. So the big question of the evening is, have you been patched? Many of you on this call probably have not been patched yet. You've not, you know, Justin may not have gotten around to you yet, but you're going to get patched. And when that happens, this patch will elevate you, activate you, and regenerate everything about your body. You're going to notice that. And so that's the golden question of this evening. But I know you're wondering, who cares? Why would I even want to be patched? Let me tell you a little bit about the stem cell industry. Many of you probably have heard of stem cell injections, something that's very expensive, anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to $50,000 to $100,000 for a stem cell injection in some cases. And the reason people are willing to do that is because they have had some situations that doctors say there's nothing they can do to help them anymore. And when it gets to a situation where you are bedridden, you are just like in so much pain or chronically ill or whatever, if you can afford it, you are willing to do whatever you can, right? So that's why people are willing to take the risk and get a stem cell injection, even though insurance doesn't cover it, even though there is no guarantee, even though, you know, it costs a lot of money, even though sometimes you have some crazy things happen to you as a result of injection, people are willing to do that. Well, they don't have to do that now. This is why we're so excited about telling you about the patch. So let me tell you a little bit about stem cells. As we get older, we heal slower. As we age, we heal slower. And so therefore, that's when our body starts deteriorating. And by the time we're age 30, half of our stem cells are gone. You remember, we need these stem cells to stay healthy and to stay youthful. So half of them are gone by the time we're age 30. And then they start going downhill. And by the time we're age 60, we've lost almost all of our stem cell activity. That's why you start hearing about people with dementia and Alzheimer's and arthritis and, you know, heart conditions and lupus and just Parkinson's, just it goes on and on. So this is why you may want to consider the patch. Now, let me explain to you how to wear this patch, because many people think, okay, what are you putting in my body? There's no stem cells in this patch. There's nothing in this patch except for crystals, because they have a frequency in this patch that these were formulated in a lab. There's a frequency in these crystals where when you put the patch anywhere on your body, whether it's your shoulder, your back, wherever you put it, it's going to reflect off of the light and heat of your body. And when it reflects off of that, off of the light and heat of your body, it activates the copper peptides that are within your body. See, we already have copper peptides, and the particular peptide we're referring to is considered the GHK copper peptide. That's considered the holy grail of anti-aging. That's the one that's going to activate, right? Because of the frequency that's in there. Now it's going to turn around and reactivate our very own stem cells. Now, I hope you caught that, because that right there is something scientists said could never been done. There is no way that we can reactivate our own stem cells. We can only do something and put something into our body to reactivate our stem cells, but no longer do we have to do that. And that's because of this X39. Now, let me tell you about the company that offers this technology. It's called LifeWave, and it's been around for 19 years. The company was doing very well because it was doing about 20 million for the first 17 years. And then all of a sudden, the X39 was created. It's only been around for 2.5 years. And the company jumped up to $300 million. Now it's about 400 million, you know, this is an outdated slide, but it's about 400 million now. And then it's spread all over the world. And let me say this, the person who I'm going to introduce you to, Mr. David Schmidt, the reason it's all over the world is because he made this so affordable that anybody could afford it. You know, everybody can't afford a stem cell injection, but everybody can afford this patch. And I'm going to tell you in a few minutes what it costs. Now, David Schmidt is the inventor. He's a scientist, an inventor, has over 150 patents now. He's a 2-time recipient of the Advanced Technology Award of the International Hall of Fame. But let me tell you kind of how he got started. He was hired by and commissioned to do to create something for the Navy SEALs for a project they had where they had this new submarine, and the Navy SEALs were going to be needed to be energized for 36 hours at a time without any chemicals and other things that were not natural. That was his challenge. It took him 3 years to create that first patch, and it was successful, and he's been successful ever since. Well, it literally took him 10 years and $5 million to create the X39. But that's how diligent and committed he is. I mean, that he's literally a genius. He's a very brilliant man. And his first priority, he wants to help people, because these patches literally should cost about $400 for a 30-day supply, because you do put them on every day. But he made it where everybody can afford them at $100 for a 30-day supply. But this technology is patented for the next 17 years, so that LifeWave is the only company that can market the product. So we have exclusive rights. This product is not a Me Too product like you may find in most companies, which is they offer weight loss, skincare, and supplements. And so, you know, this is a very interesting situation that we're in, you guys. Now, let me tell you some of the things you may experience when you put the patch on. But I need to clarify that this patch is not intended to heal, cure, or mitigate any diseases. You know, what we're just saying is that the patch has crystals in it, and a process called photobiomodulation takes place when you put it on. Let me explain what that means. Just imagine when you go out in the sun. I know you've heard how, you know, being in the sun elevates the vitamin D in your body, right? That's the same thing happens here. When you put the patch on, it elevates the copper peptides. And when you know, there was a scientific study done by Lauren Picard years ago that said, if you can elevate the copper peptides in a person's body, you will in turn reactivate the stem cells. They just didn't know how to do it. He said, no one can do that. But if there's a way to elevate the copper peptides, so that's what happened. The photobiomodulation process took place when this patch was put on, and therefore it elevated the copper peptides, in turn reactivating your stem cells. So that's all it is doing. Now, you may experience rapid pain relief, like my mother-in-law when I told you about her knee. In case you didn't know this, inflammation in our body is really the culprit of most illnesses and diseases that we experience. It supports wound healing. Many people that are diabetic have a hard time healing from their wounds. Energy, I mean, a lot of people do as well, not just diabetics, but energy and vitality and mental clarity are my two favorite things that I experience. I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the mental clarity that I have. Enhances athletic performance. I was speaking with a professional athlete just earlier today who's partnered with us and really is getting such great results for not only him, but people around him. And that's why he decided to partner with us. But a lot of professional athletes and just everyday athletes are having better performance from this patch. Faster recovery from exercise and improved skin appearance. Now, this is what you're looking at is called a topography map. What it is reflecting is the fact that there was a 72-year-old woman who they put an X39 patch on the back of her neck. This was a scientific study they did. And what they did was they looked at her brain after putting the patch on. Well, the first session, they took a picture of this machine or whatever they use, took a picture of her brain and looked at it and said that there was inflammation in her brain, this red area, very little stem cell activity. This is an old woman, lack of brain coherence. 3 weeks later in session 2, all of the inflammation is gone and there's a little bit of stem cell activity going on. There's no more inflammation at all. Session 3, which was 6 weeks later, a complete turnaround, improved stem cell activity and better brain coherence. Now, you see, as we age, the stem cells in our organs, all of our organs, the brain, the heart, the liver, the lungs, the skin, they all go dormant. But so this X39 is helping with all the organs in our body. Now, I want you to notice this chart because this is reflecting the actual results. Remember, it took 10 years to create this patch, and there were over 80 case studies all over the world. Some of the best doctors were conducting these studies. And these results are posted on a website called startx39.com. But look what they found out during the first few days. They said that 4,000 genes begin to reset. That's very significant, you guys, because I know you've heard them say that, red wine is good for the heart. Because the reason why is there is something in it called resveratrol. The resveratrol only resets 2 genes at a time. We're talking about 4,000 genes just by putting a one little patch on in your first few days. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. We just saw the chart that showed where, the brain was unbalanced. And that imbalance causes stuff like, PTSD, anxiety, and depression. And this is why so many people, especially after COVID, and maybe people that have been in the Army and in the armed services, experience PTSD. So this is very significant. Within 3 months, the collagen begins to increase. So the wrinkles start going away, hair starts growing, increasing. The structural integrity of your skeletal and muscular systems begin to increase. Like, osteoporosis sets in as we get older. And that means that our bones are not as dense. But with this patch, within 3 months, our bones are going to get thick, get denser. And this is why it's so important as we get older to take care of that situation. Now, within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. In a recent study, 14 out of 15 people lowered their vascular age by an average of 8 years just after 6 months of using a patch. Now, I really want to stop here because I want to share something with you to really demonstrate what I'm talking about. Because this is, Justin told you this is a very important, information. So I'm going to tell you how important it can be. I told you may hear something that was life-saving. So I want to tell you about my friend Jeffrey, who's diabetic, and he was, for about 10 years, he was diabetic, and he was taking, was prescribed to take 4 insulin shots per day. His numbers were spiking up to like the 300s. And then about 3 years ago, he had a stroke. And when he had the stroke, they would not allow him to leave the hospital without a pacemaker. He was paralyzed all on his whole left side, needed to learn everything from walking to chewing to everything. And so, but anyway, about several months ago in November of last year, his friend brought over these patches to him and asked him to try them. Now, he put the patch on, and within about 2 or 3 days, instead of him having to do 4 insulin shots per day, he was maybe doing 1. Okay, so everybody, please mute your line. Please mute your line, everybody. Okay, so anyway, he was down to 1 shot per day. And then when he went back, he was supposed to go to the cardiologist every 6 weeks. Okay, because this was like in November. He went back to the cardiologist in January, and the cardiologist says, "What are you doing?" I mean, and he says, "What do you mean?" He says, "I'm looking at your numbers and your heart is operating on its own. It's no longer relying on the pacemaker or the defibrillator. Something is going on." He says, "Well, the only thing I've been doing is wearing this patch." And he told his doctor about it. And the doctor was impressed with all this, what he'd been doing. This is why we have so many physicians. I am not exaggerating. We have so many physicians that are part with us. I was literally on the phone the other night with a physician on our team who has done a lot of research stem cell injection. She actually gives injections herself. But when she heard about this patch, the person that introduced the patch to her was supposed to get an injection, but the person heard about the patch. So she went over and told her doctor about it, and the doctor is so excited. I mean, she's bringing in other doctors. She's informing other doctors about this because it is such a powerful situation, you guys. So that's what physicians, that's why they're joining our company, is because they can help people more readily with this, with better results, excuse me, than when they have to give them an injection. Now, I just want to let you know, I really don't have enough time tonight because I know you're busy people, don't want to take up too much of your time. But all of the studies that I talked about, more information than what I've shared with you, all the physicians' reviews, all of the case studies, all of these different testimonies are right here on this website called startx39.com. That's where you want to go, StartX39. That's where we send physicians and everybody else to this website. But I want to explain to you how you wear the patch, because, you know, some people would think it's really a big deal. All you got to do is put the patch on anywhere on your body. On this drawing, they show behind the neck and below the belly button, because they needed to be consistent when they were doing the studies. They just wanted everybody to use the same location so it could be measurable. But you only put it on for 12 hours and 12 hours off. If you put it on at 8 o'clock in the morning, you take it off at 8 p.m. at night. Very simple. All you really want to make sure you do is drink plenty of water. And, you know, that's it, because your body may start detoxing and flushing toxins. See, toxins are what cause all these illnesses in our body, but it's going to flush these toxins out of your body. And you just put one, start again on the next day. It's very simple. I like it because I hate taking pills. I don't like to take any kind of pills, period. So to be able to put this patch on is so easy. Now I want you to look at these before and after pictures for some situations. This young man had acne, cystic acne, and his face cleared up pretty quickly. Here's a person that their heels are you know, just looking so much better on their feet. Here's a person whose hand was all messed up and is smooth now. This man had oozing, I forget what they call it, but this was out of his leg. And the very next morning, his daughter took this picture the very next morning and said the oozing had stopped. They'd been to several doctors over a period of 6 months and could not figure out what to do. But the X39 is very, very intelligent, y'all. It knows what to do. This lady, look how much younger she looks after wearing the patch for several months. And the same thing with this gentleman. His hair is growing back. It's a lot thicker. So once again, we're not saying that these products are treating or curing or preventing any disease, but this is what happened. So let me just say one more thing. You know, I was speaking to a gentleman earlier. I was telling you, he's a ball player, and he shared with me one of the things several things he noticed, but one thing he noticed, he said his feet are like baby feet. I think he's been wearing a patch for about a month now. And he said his feet are so smooth, he cannot believe it. But listen, this is my favorite part of today's presentation, because what I want to do now is I want to invite a couple of people on so that you can hear for yourself. These are real life people who have gotten some tremendous results from this patch. So first person I want to ask to come on is Mr. Ernie Coney, so that you can share your testimony, Mr. Ernie Coney. Share your video. There you go.
Hey, how we doing? How we doing? Great.
Wonderful.
I started X39. I thought I was a pretty healthy person. I didn't need anything, but I was going to wear it. But I noticed my mental clarity was off the chain, and my energy level was very high. And also, I noticed that I wasn't going to the bathroom as many times as I had before. You know, down from 4, 3, down to none. And I woke up rested in the morning because I didn't have that interruption of my sleep, and I slept really, really well. But I know personally people who sciatic nerve cracked. Next day she called me and said, "Hey, I don't feel the pain anymore." So the patch does its thing. The thing does work. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Ernie. And I will tell you, I saw for myself the energy, the transformation that Ernie went through very quickly. I mean, he just was like buzzing around. I mean, his energy and his focus, he's so focused. I know this because he was calling me every single day once he tried the patch. And I just know the difference in the way he was acting. So he's telling the truth right there. And so I want appreciate you coming on, Ernie, and sharing your testimony. And then I want to bring another person on who, to me, has an amazing testimony. This literally made such an impact in her life. Miss Marilyn Brooks out of Dallas, would you share your testimony? You have to unmute. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I'm here. Hello, everyone. I'm Marilyn Brooks. I'm here in Dallas, Texas. I'm so happy to be a part of LifeWave. This has changed my life tremendously. I suffered for many, many years, for 20 years or longer, with back issues. I would have back problems and I would get back spasms. If you ever had a spasm in your calf, then you understand what I was going through on a regular basis. I was going to a chiropractor for over 20 years. I was going at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. That's how bad the pain was. And I would be very, very careful when I slept through the night. I would lay on my side, fearing to lay on my back. Sometimes I would be on my back because you sleep so well and you toss and turn, you don't know how you're going to end through the night. But I will always know the next morning that I woke up if I had slept on my back accidentally, because when I stood up, I can tell you I felt the pain. Now, I can say to you, just from wearing this miracle patch, I call it the miracle patch, it is an incredible patch. I knew about this patch months before I started wearing it. And I hate that I didn't wear it the moment that I received it. I should have worn it from day one. So if any of you listening to this call now have been experiencing some pain, don't delay. Wear the patch because it would change your life. I do not go to the chiropractor anymore. I was going to the chiropractor so often, they were used to me coming there once a week. When they didn't see me anymore, they started calling me, where are you? Where are you? I told them that I'm wearing a patch. This patch has changed my life. 20 years I suffered. Only took me 1 week, ladies and gentlemen, only 1 week to feel a tremendous difference in my back. I no longer go to the chiropractor. So I'm telling you, this is a miracle patch. It's wonderful. I love it. My family is on it. I love this business. I love the patch. I love everything about LifeWave. So please listen and join this patching business with us. It's wonderful. Back to you, Vidita.
Wow, Marilyn, thank you so much. And I'm so glad you feeling much better, because y'all know it's miserable when you go through that kind of stuff, especially for 20 years. It's a
Exactly.
miserable feeling. And some people may not be able to relate to that, but just put yourself in that situation. I mean, you probably didn't even get much sleep, did you?
Well, I would sleep, but I would wake up the next morning, couldn't hardly move.
Okay, well, at least you got some sleep. But I'm just saying, I mean, this is what we mean. See, it's doing everything for people, you all. It's doing everything. You never know what it's going to do for you. So you have to, if you think you're healthy, and let me tell you, I've been knowing Marilyn for a long time, but I did not even know she had back spasms. So I'm glad it worked for her, and I'm glad she tried the patches. So with that, we're gonna get back to the presentation. And we're not going to hold you up much longer. Excuse me. Not going to hold you up much longer. Okay. But I want to ask y'all a question. What's most important in your life? Is it your family? Like for me, it's my family. Okay. Because I hope I didn't mess the screen up here. It's our family, because what else is there besides your family? To be able to, don't you want to be around healthy? If you turn 80 or 90 years old, which you very well may probably do. Most people are living longer nowadays, unless some type of life-threatening situation you may be around. But most people are going to age and deteriorate, like the Alzheimer's. We got people that had Alzheimer's, y'all, and dementia that no longer have it. Do you understand what I'm saying? You want to be around for your family and be healthy, right? You want to have time to spend with your family, time freedom to travel with them, and you want to be in a secure situation, like especially if you're retired. You don't want to have to worry about Social Security that may not even be around. I know you hear, if you ever watch the news, they say that. So I'm just letting you know that this patch can address every single thing on this page: better health, less debt, travel, family, free time freedom. It can address all of that. And so that's why I got excited about it, because I knew that I had a responsibility based on what I knew to help change some lives. So let me explain to you what's going about to happen. I want you to put your business hat on right now, because you know, we've got a lot of people that can use this, and we need to help them. But the stem cell industry is becoming more popular. I just told you about all these doctors that are giving injections. People are hearing about injections, but people are realizing the importance of healthy stem cells. And so this industry is expected to explode. Right now, it's about $13 million, I believe it is. And you're seeing that it says 200 million, but it's about $13 billion right now. It's expected to hit about 30 billion in the next 5 to 6 years. And so it's a really big industry. This shows you, because people don't want to live with pain and discomfort. So that's a great opportunity for us. But let me just let you know that if you decided that you wanted to be an ambassador, like help us spread the word. I mean, there is no way, if I was in your situation, that I could get off this call and say, you know, and I told you about my friend Jeffrey, who had a pacemaker, who no longer, you know, who doesn't have the diabetes injections anymore, that he, like now, he doesn't even give himself insulin injections anymore. That's life-changing. And so if you know these types of things that we've shared with you on this call, it's going to be really, really hard for you to get off this call and not say, hey, I need to tell my uncle about the Parkinson's situation. Let me try this on him for Parkinson's. We got testimonies on that, and we're going to show you where to find a testimony on anything that you can think of, anything, any kind of illness that you can imagine. It's on this testimonial page. Trust me. So if you decide to partner with us, we're going to show you how to get one of our packages that I'll go over in a moment. And then you're going to be placed on, for example, if Justin referred you to this call, you're going to be placed on his left team or right team. And so what you're going to be doing, if this were you, you're going to be building a left team and a right team. And every time you enroll someone, they're going to fall on your left side or your right side. And the people at the very, very top are going to benefit from everything, because every time Justin enrolls somebody into this program, they're going to fall below the people that are already in. In other words, you're going to start getting paid money on every single person that falls below you. They have to fall on the left, or they have to fall on the right. All right. And so with this compensation plan and this part of the compensation plan, we can earn up to $25,000 per week in the binary. I know some people that are personally earning that type of money, and you know, it's just a matter of time, because we're at the ground floor, you guys. This company, even though it's a 20-year-old company, it feels like it's brand new, because all of a sudden, I showed you the growth curve is going straight up. The company's growing real fast. I said it's going to be toward $1 billion tomorrow, next year. And so that's what you're going to earn when you're put into the binary. But whatever people are earning in that binary, look what happens. We have a matching bonus. So let's say, for example, if you enroll Justin, I'm just going to give this example. Justin is sharp, y'all. He's a go-getter. And let's say Justin goes out and just gets started. I know people that are already earning over $1,000 a week just in that one way of pay. But let's say Justin goes out, starts making $1,000 a week in the binary, because you referred Justin, the company's going to pay you 25% of what he earns. So that means you make $250 when he makes $1,000, and they're not going to take the $250 from him. They're going to just give it extra on top of what he's earning. Justin goes out, he maybe tell 20 of his friends about this. Every single time Justin shares this with somebody, whatever they earn in the binary, he makes 25%. But guess what? You earn 20%, because they fall on your second level. And then the people that they enroll fall on your third level. You get to earn 20% of what they're earning. And keep in mind, there are going to be thousands of people that are in this matching, that are on these different levels. That's what I was trying to explain to you about the binary. They're going to, oh my God, if you only knew. But anyway, it's very, very lucrative. And this is why we're so excited. Now, this is how you can get some of these patches. First of all, you can be a customer if you want to, but I don't think it's a good idea, because customers, they have to pay retail. That's $150 for a 30-day supply. you're going to get 30 of these patches inside this sleeve, and then they're going to put this sleeve inside this beautiful packaging right here. So you're going to get that. It's going to be shipped directly to your house. But if you decide to do what we did, and that was to get a starter package or higher, a starter package means you're just getting it at distributor pricing. You're getting it at wholesale like we are. And so now you can pay $100 per sleeve, and you'll get 3 sleeves in the starter package for $300. That's going to save you money. That's going to save you $150 from what you would pay if you became just a customer. So it only makes sense, you guys. A business builder is a person who says, you know what? I see this as a great business opportunity. I want to send some of those patches out to as many people as I can. I'm married. Me and my wife need our own for 30 days, but I know plenty of people that I need to send these patches out to. So you may want to become a business builder, but wherever you decide to start, no matter if you decided to silver and upgrade to business, you can do that. No penalty. You just pay the difference, and you just get the difference in the inventory amount. Okay. This is everything is all about how many sleeves you got. In other words, you get 5.5, you get a free half a sleeve. When you do this, when you pay $500 for $500 worth of product, but then you get another half a sleeve free. Then the serious business builder, that's a person like me and my husband. When we saw this, I can't tell you, it's something just came over me. I just said, oh my God, I got to tell everybody about this. And guess what? You save money when you become a business builder. I mean, a serious business builder. That means you're paying $84 a sleeve as opposed to $100. So that's $16 per sleeve that you're saving. And then we were able to share this with a bunch of people. We had enough to, where we could each use it for 3 months. And I'm gonna explain to you why that's important to have it for 3 months like that in a moment. But just letting you know that these are some options here. There are additional options below, but we'll talk to you a little bit more about those options. But I just want you to know these are the 3 that we highly recommend. Now, you may get this form. Sorry, but I keep, all of a sudden something's in my throat. But you may get this form from Justin or somebody else who invited you to the call, because it has a place on here to let you know everything that's needed to get you in the system, because you'll have your own free website. So you want to pick a website name, password, date of birth, credit card, all that information is on this card. Or you can go to Justin's link and make sure that Justin is on the phone with you if you decide to go that option, because we want to make sure that you capture some important information when you're on the Zoom, when you're on the website with him. But let me elaborate on this point right here. And that is I told you why it's important that the diamond pack allows you, that's the one that's $1,600, allows you to stay, excuse me, active for 90 days. And that's because in order to stay active and accumulate all these points I keep talking about, you need to have a monthly subscription. In other words, when 30 days come along, you want to place another order for at least 1 sleeve. Well, when you do 1 sleeve, it is going to allow you to keep all the points that have accumulated under you. See, the points are where we get paid every week. Now, it'll allow you to earn up to $100 per week with 1 sleeve, but I highly recommend, and it's suggested, that you do 2 sleeves, because it gives you the opportunity to max out the comp plan. But this is literally enough for 2 people in your household. So if you're married, you need 2 sleeves anyway. I can't really get all the benefits if I let my husband use my sleeve. And that's why the 2 sleeve is suggested. And that's why with the diamond pack, we stayed active for 90 days. So that was 6 sleeves right there. And then there was 13 left over. So that gave us enough for 25 couples that were on our list and 25 individuals that were on our list, because we gave everybody 5 patches. That was our strategy. I mean, everybody may have their own decision how they want to do it, but that's why we got the Series Business Builder Pack. And you can get wherever you want to come in. You can always upgrade. Now, you may get a beautiful envelope like this, where we might put the patches in there and then some instructions. Here's the website again, just some instructions and some information to remind you of some of the information you heard, or if you didn't hear a call like this, it just gives you that information. But you can get those envelopes and we'll show you how to do it on a website called build331.com. This website also reiterates the whole comp plan that I've gone over it in more detail. So you just want to go to build331.com, click on menu and go down to comp plan. It will break it down. Also on Build 331, it has this link right here where it says get connected. Remember I told you about all those testimonies? You can put your phone, your camera up to the website and scan this bar right here, and it'll take you to a Facebook page where it's all these testimonies. So you'll just type in, let's say if you wanted to type in dementia, it's going to bring up all these testimonies on dementia, and they're going to be on YouTube. So you will hear the actual person who had the testimony. In other words, we've done all the work. I mean, the work is, we didn't do it, but somebody else did all the work. So you don't have to do any work. All you got to do is just jump right in, and we're going to help you now. And this is what Justin was alluding to earlier. You know, some of us are really helping a lot of people, and you know, in me and my husband's case, thousands of people we've helped to get started and know what to do with from a business strategy standpoint, but also helping people get on this path. So if you're very serious about your dreams, I just want you to think about it. Do you really have any other options? I know me and my husband didn't, because see, we're in our 60s. At least I'm in my 60s. And so I mean, I'm not going to go back to another job. I mean, 2 jobs are for 2 people. I have a business. I don't have time to do another job. So I didn't really have any other options to accumulate, you know, extra money. We needed it, trust me, because we're retirement age, and just was not going to look like a pretty picture. Excuse me. I am so sorry. It didn't look like a pretty picture. So we didn't really have any other options. So I don't know, you know, what your situation is, but I highly encourage you to get started on X39 today. We have some calls that are similar to what I'm sharing with you right now. Every Monday and Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and then Friday at noon. We have a Spanish call on Thursday. Then we have a training on Saturday at 1. So we'll be having a training coming up this Saturday. So if you want to, you know, write this, you know, take a snapshot of this link right here, you can get on a, you know, a training this Saturday, just going over a lot more information that I'm talking about. But with that being the case, I want to, you know, in the call right now, and I want to thank you all for your time. We went a little bit over than what we thought, but this call is recorded in case you know, want to hear it again, or have somebody you want to share it with. But thank you so much for your time. We can't wait to get you started on X39. And also, if you want to share it with other people, because once again, it's a very, very lucrative business, but it's more so it's helping people. And that's what we're all about. Thank you all so much for your time. You all have a good evening.